A cold wind swept through the narrow alley as a woman clutched her two children tightly, their small bodies shivering under thin jackets. The streetlights flickered, casting long shadows as the family stood outside an old apartment building, their belongings scattered in a few suitcases. The mother's eyes were red from crying, and her youngest son, barely 5, tugged at her sleeve. "Mama, where will we sleep tonight?" She forced a smile, swallowing the lump in her throat. "We'll find a place, baby." The heavy wooden door swung open behind them, and a tall man in a pressed suit smirked. The landlord, Mr. Davenport, adjusted his expensive watch and sneered. "Took you long enough to get out. You should have left hours ago." The mother pleaded, her voice cracking. "Please, I just need a few more days. I'll have the rent soon." The landlord chuckled cruelly. "I don't care. If you can't pay, you don't belong here." His words were met with silence, until a calm but firm voice spoke up. "That's a pretty heartless way to treat a struggling mother." Everyone turned. Standing a few feet away, hands in his pockets, was Keanu Reeves. Davenport's smirk faltered as he studied the man before him. "And who the hell are you?" Keanu stepped forward, his gaze locked on the landlord. "Just someone who doesn't like bullies." The landlord scoffed, crossing his arms. "This is none of your business." Keanu tilted his head slightly. "When you throw a mother and her kids onto the street, that makes it everyone's business." The crowd that had begun to gather murmured in agreement. The mother wiped her tears and looked at Keanu, unsure of who he was, but grateful for the support. Davenport rolled his eyes. "Listen, hero, this is private property. I have every right to evict tenants who don't pay." Keanu nodded, his expression calm. "Fair point, but tell me, how much does she owe you?" The landlord smirked. 3 months' rent, plus fees. That's $5,000. Keanu reached into his coat, pulled out a wallet, and counted the exact amount in crisp bills. He held it out. "Here, she's paid in full." The crowd gasped. The mother covered her mouth, tears streaming down her face. But instead of taking the money, the landlord snatched it, then laughed. "Nice try, but I've already leased the place to someone else. They move in tomorrow." Keanu's eyes darkened. "You took her money, knowing you already rented the place?" Davenport grinned. "That's business." The tension in the air was thick. The mother clutched her sons as Keanu calmly put his wallet away. He nodded slowly. "All right. You want to play dirty?" He pulled out his phone and dialed a number. "Hey, it's me. I need a favor." The landlord frowned. "Who are you calling?" Within minutes, a sleek black car pulled up. A well-dressed man stepped out. "Mr. Reeves," he greeted with a respectful nod. Keanu pointed at the building. "How much is this place worth?" The man pulled out a tablet, checked a few details, then looked up. "Market value?" "About $2 million. The landlord's face paled. "Why do you ask?" Keanu smirked. "Because I'm buying it." The entire street erupted in gasps. Davenport's smirk vanished. What?" Keanu turned to his associate. "Make an offer. I want this place. Now." The agent nodded and made a call. Within minutes, a deal was in motion. Davenport stammered, "You can't just buy my building." Keanu raised an eyebrow. "Says who?" The landlord swallowed hard, realizing the tables had turned. The crowd watched in stunned silence as the impossible unfolded before their eyes. 15 minutes later, the paperwork was signed. Keanu Reeves was now the owner of the entire apartment complex. He turned to the landlord with a cold smile. "You're evicting people over money they don't have. Fine, then let's talk about you." He pulled out a document. "This building has over 50 code violations, faulty heating, bad plumbing, mold issues." He glanced at the crowd. "Any tenants here ever have their maintenance requests ignored?" Hands shot up. Keanu turned back to Davenport. "See, I have the power to fix this place. You, however, don't." Davenport clenched his fists. "You can't do this." Keanu stepped forward. "Actually, I can. And I just did. Now pack your things. You're fired." The landlord's face turned bright red. Fired? You can't fire me." Keanu shrugged. "Sure I can, because I own this building now." The crowd burst into cheers. The mother sobbed, hugging her children as hope returned to her face. Davenport, humiliated, stormed off. "This isn't over," he hissed before disappearing into the night. Keanu turned to the family. "You're not going anywhere. This is your home." The next morning, the city was buzzing. News stations covered the story. Hollywood star buys apartment complex to protect struggling families. Interviews with tenants revealed how long they had suffered under the previous landlord. Keanu didn't just let the family stay. He announced lower rents, free repi,